All right, so we've got this pretty in-depth guide all about building large language models.
Yeah.
You know, the tech behind things like ChatGPT, right?
Right.
But this build your own LLM guide, it like jumps right into the practical stuff.
Yeah.
Which is awesome. So let's get into it. What's really important here for our listeners, to get started?
Well, what's really cool is that building an LLM, it's becoming like much more doable.
Yeah.
Even if you don't have like, a PhD in AI or anything.
Right.
This guide seems to do a really good job of breaking it down step by step for anybody.
So the first thing that it tackles is like, what even is a language model?
Right.
It's all about AI that can, predict text, understand what it means, even write creatively.
Yeah.
But it doesn't just tell us what they do.
Right.
It dives into like their evolution,
Absolutely. We've come a long way from like the basic statistical models to these complex transformer architectures, and understanding that journey kind of helps us appreciate how we got to these AI systems that can, hold conversations or write a whole poem or something.
It's like going from a calculator that can only add
Right.
to a supercomputer that simulates entire universes.
Exactly.
Right. So can we break down this whole transformer thing a little bit more?
Yeah.
Like, what makes them so special?
Well, transformers are kind of like game changers, right?
Okay.
Because they can understand context
Yeah.
in a way that like older models just couldn't.
Right.
They use something called attention mechanisms.
Okay.
You can kind of imagine it like the model is focusing on the most important words in a sentence to really get the nuances of the language.
Okay. So like, let's say we're analyzing this sentence.
Yeah.
The dog chased its tail, spinning in circles.
Yeah.
How would a transformer process that? Pay attention to the right words.
Well, it would focus on how like it relates to dog.
Okay.
So it understands that the dog owns the tail being chased.
Right. And that connection lets the model grasp the action and even like visualize what's happening.
Wow.
So that's a huge step towards AI that really gets human language.
So context is key.
Yeah.
The guide also makes it clear that data is, super crucial for building LLMs.
Yeah.
They compare it to baking. Data is your core ingredient, right?
It's like your flour and your eggs.
Yeah. And there are a few ways to gather that data.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, the guide talks about web scraping.
Okay.
Which means like pulling text from websites.
Yeah.
Like Wikipedia, for example.
Okay.
Then there are APIs.
Okay.
Which are kind of like tapping into direct data feeds from places like Twitter or Reddit.
Right.
And finally, there are like public data sets on sites like Kaggle.
Okay.
And these are just like pre-packaged and ready to go.
So many options.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's say I want to build an LLM that can like understand financial news.
Okay.
Would I go for, scraping financial websites,
Well,
using a news API?
Grabbing a pre-made financial data set.
It depends.
Yeah.
It's a great question.
What's the best approach?
In your case, you'd probably want a combination, right?
Okay.
Scraping financial news sites gives you that like real-time information.
Right.
The news API provides structure, right?
Yeah.
And the data set adds historical context.
Right.
So it all depends on the scope of your LLM and the resources you have.
It's like choosing your ingredients carefully to get that flavor that you want.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, the guide stresses that you can't just like throw raw data at the model.
Right.
It needs to be pre-processed.
Yeah.
Why is that so important?
Well, think of it like prepping your ingredients before you bake.
Okay.
Raw data is messy.
Yeah.
It's got inconsistencies, stuff that's irrelevant.
Right.
Pre-processing is like cleaning and chopping those ingredients.
Yeah.
So they work well in your recipe.
Okay, so what are some of the key steps involved in getting that data prepped and ready?
Sure. The guide covers a few important techniques. Okay.
Tokenization breaks down text into smaller bits that the model can handle.
Okay.
Then there's stop word removal,
Okay.
which gets rid of common words that don't add much meaning, like
Okay.
the, is, and so on, right?
Yeah.
Finally, we have stemming,
Okay.
which simplifies words to their base form. So running, ran, runs, all become just run.
So we're making the data more digestible for the model.
Exactly.
Now, these LLMs are complex.
Oh, yeah.
What kind of software do we need to build these?
Yeah.
I'm assuming it's not just like, Microsoft Word.
No. You're right. It's more like high-tech engineering tools.
Right.
The guide recommends a few popular options.
Okay.
TensorFlow is a powerful framework developed by Google.
Okay.
Great for beginners and experts.
Yeah.
Then there's PyTorch, created by Facebook, known for being flexible and user-friendly.
Okay.
And finally, there's Hugging Face, specializing in natural language processing.
Right.
And they offer pre-trained models and a fantastic library called Transformers. Wait, pre-trained models?
Yeah.
So you mean you don't always have to start from scratch?
Not at all. Think of it like having a cake mix.
Okay.
You still got to add ingredients and bake it.
Yeah.
But it gives you a head start, right?
Right.
These pre-trained models give you a foundation to work with, and then you can fine-tune them
Okay.
for your specific needs.
So, like, if I wanted to build an LLM that was really good at, like, analyzing poetry,
Okay.
I could use a pre-trained model that already understands language.
Yeah.
And then teach it to recognize the nuances of, like, poetic form.
Exactly. That would save you a ton of time and effort.
Right.
Compared to building everything from the ground up.
Right. Okay.
And speaking of getting started, the guide actually walks us through building a basic LLM using a dataset called Wikitext2.
Now, I'm no coding wizard or anything.
Sure.
But I like that the guide keeps it high level.
Yeah.
So even I can understand the process.
Absolutely.
What are the main steps involved in building this basic LLM?
Well, it starts with initializing the model and the tokenizer, which breaks down the text. Then you move on to the actual training,
Right.
feeding the data to the model and letting it learn.
Right.
Finally, you evaluate how well your model performs.
Okay.
It's a great way to see the whole process in action without getting bogged down in complex code.
So it's like a hello world program for LLMs.
Exactly.
You start with something simple.
Right.
To learn the ropes.
Yeah.
Before tackling, those massive complex models.
Exactly.
Which brings me to my next question.
Okay.
What about those more advanced architectures like GPT, BERT, T5?
Yeah.
Like, these seem to be like the big names in the LLM world.
You're right. Those are the heavy hitters.
Right.
Each one has its own strengths.
Okay.
And is suited for different tasks.
Right.
GQT, which stands for Generative Pre-trained Transformer, is the king of text generation.
Okay.
Think of things like AI writing assistants or chatbots that can hold surprisingly natural conversations.
Oh, so those like AI story generators I've seen online.
Yeah.
That's GPT in action.
Exactly.
That's pretty cool. What about BERT? What makes it stand out?
BERT, or bidirectional encoder representations from transformers, excels at understanding context.
Right.
It's great for tasks like analyzing sentiment,
Uh-huh.
so figuring out if a movie review is positive or negative, or answering questions based on a given text.
So if I wanted to build an LLM that could figure out if a tweet was sarcastic or genuine,
Yeah.
BERT would be my go-to.
Absolutely. It's all about understanding those subtle cues and underlying meaning in language.
Right.
BERT's a master at that.
Okay.
And then we have T5, or text-to-text transformer.
Okay, now from the name, it sounds like it can handle a lot of different tasks. Is it like the Swiss Army knife of LLMs?
Yeah, exactly. T5's approach is to frame any language problem as a text-to-text task.
Okay.
So it's incredibly versatile. It can be adapted to all sorts of challenges: translation, summarization, question answering,
Okay, so we've got the basic LLM down.
Yeah.
We've met the advanced architectures.
Right.
But I'm guessing things get a bit trickier when you start working with like QGE models or tons of data.
Yeah.
How do you even manage that?
That's where things get really interesting.
Right.
The guide dives into techniques for scaling up,
Okay.
including something called model parallelism.
Okay.
Imagine your model is so big,
Yeah.
it doesn't fit on a single computer.
Right.
Model parallelism is like breaking that model into pieces
Okay.
and letting different computers handle each part.
So instead of trying to bake a giant cake in a single oven, you're using multiple ovens to bake different parts simultaneously.
That's a great analogy.
Right.
It's all about dividing and conquering to handle those massive workloads.
Okay.
And they also talk about data parallelism, which involves splitting your data across multiple machines to speed up the training process.
So if I have a data set the size of Wikipedia, I could divide it into chunks and let each computer process its own chunk.
Exactly.
Working in parallel to train the model faster.
Exactly. It's like having a team of chefs
Yeah.
working together to prepare a massive feast.
Now, all this talk about training and scaling is great.
Yeah.
But what if I want to take an existing LLM and make it even better for a specific task?
Yeah.
Can I do that?
You absolutely can.
Okay.
And that's where fine-tuning comes in.
Okay.
It's like taking a pre-trained model, that cake mix we talked about, and adding your own special ingredients to create a unique flavor.
Okay, so if I wanted to build an LLM that could write screenplays, I could take a pre-trained model that already understands language and story structure.
Yeah.
and then fine-tune it on a data set of famous movie scripts.
That's the idea. You're taking a model that's already pretty good
Right.
and making it even better for your specific needs.
Right.
And fine-tuning is closely related to transfer learning.
Okay.
Which is like using the knowledge you gained from baking one type of cake to help you bake a completely different kind.
So it's about transferring the skills learned from one task to another.
Exactly.
Okay, this is all starting to come together.
Yeah.
We've got the data, the models, the training, the scaling.
Yeah.
But I'm sure there's tons of tricks to get the most out of your LLM.
Oh, yeah.
What insights does the guide offer?
Well, they dedicate a whole section to optimization.
Okay.
You know, those tweaks and adjustments that can really make a difference in your LLM's performance.
Right.
They talk about hyperparameter tuning.
Okay.
Think of it like finding the perfect settings for your oven to get your cake to rise just right.
Right.
And they dive into more advanced techniques like gradient clipping
Okay.
and mixed precision training.
Okay, those sound pretty technical.
Yeah.
Can you break them down for me in a way that, like, even a non-expert can understand?
Yeah. Of course. Imagine you're training your model.
Okay.
And the signals telling it how to adjust its parameters get way too strong.
Okay.
This can cause problems, making the training process unstable.
Okay.
Gradient climbing is like setting a limit on how strong those signals can get,
Right.
keeping things under control.
So it's like a safety valve
Exactly.
to prevent things from going haywire.
Exactly.
Okay.
Mixed precision training is a clever trick that allows you to use less memory during training,
Okay.
which can be a huge advantage
Right.
when working with large models.
Yeah.
It's like finding a way to bake your cake using a smaller oven without sacrificing quality.
I'm seeing a theme here.
Yeah.
It's all about finding ways to make the process more efficient and effective.
Exactly.
So we've covered a lot of ground already,
We have?
from the fundamentals of LLMs to advanced techniques and optimization strategies.
Yeah.
What else does this guide have in store for us? What should we be focusing on in the next part of our deep dive?
In the next part, we'll move from the theoretical to the practical,
Okay.
exploring real-world applications of LLMs
Okay.
and how they're being used to solve problems
Yeah.
across various industries.
Oh, okay. Awesome. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, get ready for some fascinating case studies.
Sounds good.
Yeah. Welcome back. I'm excited to kind of shift gears here a little bit.
Yeah.
Go from theory to practice.
Okay.
Let's explore how LLMs are being used in the real world.
Yeah, it's like seeing those engineering blueprints come to life
Right.
in a finished building or something.
Exactly.
So what kind of real-world applications really jumped out at you from the guide?
Well, one of the most common is in customer service.
Okay.
Companies are using LLMs to create chatbots that can handle tons of customer questions and requests.
Oh, so instead of waiting on hold forever,
Yeah.
you could be chatting with an AI
Right.
that can answer your questions, track your order,
Yeah.
maybe help you troubleshoot a technical issue.
Exactly. And it's not just about giving basic responses.
Yeah.
The guide actually mentions this one company that used GPT-3,
Okay.
which is one of the most advanced LLMs out there,
Right.
to create super personalized customer interactions.
So the chatbot can actually hold a natural, engaging conversation.
Yeah.
Almost like you're talking to a real person.
Right.
Wow.
That's the goal.
That's impressive. And I can see how businesses would be all over this.
Oh, yeah.
Happier customers,
Yeah.
less workload for their human agents.
Absolutely. It's a win-win.
And the applications go way beyond customer service, right?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
The guide even talks about LLMs being used in law.
Yeah.
Law. That's interesting.
Right.
I wouldn't picture lawyers and AI working side by side.
Yeah. Well, think about how much time lawyers spend going through legal documents.
Okay.
Trying to find specific information or relevant precedents.
Right.
It's a massive task.
Definitely not something I'd want to do.
No.
Sounds tedious.
Yeah, really tedious.
Yeah.
But LLMs can streamline this process.
Okay.
The guide describes this one law firm that used BERT, which we know is great at understanding context,
Right.
to analyze and summarize legal documents.
Yeah.
And it saved their lawyers a ton of time.
So instead of poring over every single page,
Yeah.
they can have the LLM pull out the key points
Exactly.
and highlight the most important information.
Right. It's like having an AI research assistant.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
And it's not just law and customer service.
No.
At all.
What else? The guide talks about LLMs being used in healthcare, too.
Okay.
Like they mention IBM Watson,
Okay.
which is this powerful AI system
Right.
that helps oncologists diagnose and recommend treatments for cancer patients.
Wow. Now that's using AI for something truly impactful.
Absolutely.
how does Watson work? Like, does it actually give medical advice?
Well, it's been trained on a huge amount of medical data. Oh,
Research papers, patient records, the works.
right.
That allows it to analyze a patient's information,
Okay.
pinpoint potential diagnoses, and even suggest treatment plans based on the latest research.
So it's like having the knowledge of countless medical experts.
Yeah.
All in one system.
Right.
So does that mean, like, doctors are going to be replaced by AI?
No, it's not about replacing doctors. It's about giving them a powerful tool to help them make the best possible decisions for their patients.
Right.
It's like having a super smart consultant working alongside them.
Okay, so AI shouldn't replace human expertise.
Right.
But it can definitely enhance it.
Absolutely.
Are there any other examples in the guide that stood out to you?
There was one about education that I thought was really interesting.
Okay.
Imagine a world where LLMs can create personalized lesson plans for each student.
Wow.
Tailoring the content to their individual learning style and pace.
That sounds like a game changer. No more one-size-fits-all approach.
Right. Students could learn more effectively.
Yeah.
Be more engaged in the process.
Exactly. And they even talk about LLMs being used to create more interactive and engaging learning materials.
Okay.
Like virtual tutors.
Yeah.
Or AI-powered storytelling companions.
Okay, these real-world examples are blowing my mind.
Yeah.
It seems like there's no limit to what LLMs can do.
It's really exciting.
But I'm also curious about, like, the challenges of actually putting these LLMs to work, in the real world. It can't all be sunshine and roses, right?
You're right. The guide acknowledges that real-world deployment comes with its own set of hurdles.
Okay, so what are some of the biggest challenges?
Well, one of the biggest is scalability.
Okay.
Making sure these models can handle huge amounts of data and respond quickly to user requests.
So if you've got a chatbot that needs to interact with thousands of customers simultaneously, you need to make sure it can keep up with the demand.
Exactly. And they suggest using cloud-based solutions like AWS SageMaker.
Okay.
These platforms are designed for large-scale computations.
Right.
They have the infrastructure to support these complex models.
So it's not just about building a cool model.
Right.
It's about having the right tools and infrastructure in place to make sure it actually works in the real world.
Absolutely. And the guide emphasizes the importance of monitoring.
Okay.
You can't just set an LLM loose and assume it'll run perfectly forever.
Right. So it's not like a set it and forget it kind of thing.
Right. You got to keep an eye on it. Make sure it's performing the way it's supposed to.
So what do they recommend?
Well, they recommend putting robust monitoring systems in place.
Okay.
To track how the model is doing.
Right.
That way you can catch any errors or anomalies.
Yeah.
Make sure it stays accurate and reliable over time.
It's like having a checkup for your LLM.
Yeah, exactly.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Anything else we should keep in mind when it comes to real-world deployment?
Yeah, they talk about the importance of user feedback.
Okay.
Getting real people to interact with the LLM and provide their input is crucial for identifying areas for improvement and making sure it meets user needs.
So it's not just about, technical performance.
Right.
It's about creating a positive user experience as well.
Absolutely. The guide encourages developers to think about the human element.
Yeah.
To design LLMs that are intuitive, helpful, and even enjoyable to interact with.
That's a great point. We can get so caught up in the tech side of things that we forget about, like, the people who will actually be using these LLMs.
Yeah, for sure.
So we've got real-world applications. We've got the challenges of deployment.
Yeah.
What else does the guide cover?
Well, there's a fascinating section on future trends.
Okay.
And where this technology is headed. Things are moving so fast, it's mind-boggling.
The future of LLMs.
Yeah.
That's something I want to hear more about.
Yeah.
What are some of the trends that they highlight?
Well, one of the most exciting is the development of multimodal models.
Okay.
Right now, LLMs are mostly focused on text.
Right.
But imagine models that can work with different types of data.
Go ahead.
Text, images, audio, you name it.
So an AI that can not only read a news article, but also understand the accompanying photos and video.
Exactly.
That's wild.
They actually talk about OpenAI's DALL-E as a prime example, which is a model that can generate images from text descriptions.
Wow.
So it's combining language and visual understanding.
That's incredible. I can see that being useful in so many fields.
Oh, yeah.
From art and design to education and research.
For sure.
Wow.
They also talk about research into making models smaller and more efficient.
Wait, why would you want smaller models?
Yeah.
I always thought bigger was better when it comes to AI.
It's a common misconception.
Okay.
Smaller models are often more accessible
Okay.
and easier to deploy,
Right.
especially for folks who don't have access to massive computing power.
So it's about making this technology more widely available.
Exactly.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, they highlight Distilbert as a great example,
Okay.
which is a smaller version of BERT
Right.
that still has most of its language understanding abilities,
Yeah.
but it's way faster and more efficient.
It's like finding the sweet spot
Yeah.
between power and practicality.
Exactly.
Are there any other future trends that stand out?
They talk about few-shot and zero-shot learning.
Okay.
Remember how we discussed fine-tuning models for specific tasks?
Yeah.
Well, imagine models that can do new tasks with little to no specific training.
So instead of needing thousands of examples to learn something new,
Yeah.
they could adapt based on just a handful of examples.
Yeah. Or even none at all.
Or even none at all.
Right. Is that even possible?
Well, GPT-3 has shown some amazing abilities in this area.
Okay.
It's done tasks with minimal or zero examples,
Whoa.
which is a huge leap towards models that can truly generalize and adapt to new challenges. That's incredible. It's
Yeah.
like AI that can learn on the fly.
Yeah, it's pretty mind-blowing.
And what else?
They also touch on the broader future of AI and LLMs,
Okay.
predicting even deeper integration into different industries,
Uh-huh.
more focus on ethical AI development,
Right.
and greater collaboration between humans and machines.
So it's not just about building smarter machines.
Right.
It's about figuring out how humans and AI can work together
Yeah,
to create a better future.
that's the big picture. It's a super exciting field with endless possibilities.
Yeah.
And I think this guide does a fantastic job of showing us both the potential and the challenges of this tech.
I totally agree. We've learned so much in this deep dive.
Yeah.
From understanding what LLMs are and how to build them, to seeing how they're being used in the real world.
Right.
And getting a glimpse of what the future holds.
Yeah, it's been quite a journey.
So what's next for us on this LLM adventure?
Well, in the final part,
Okay.
we'll distill everything we've learned into key takeaways and offer some final thoughts to help you on your LLM journey.
Sounds good. Looking forward to it.
Stay tuned.
Welcome back to the final part of our deep dive into large language models. It's been quite a journey, right? From understanding what LLMs are and how they work, to exploring all the exciting applications, and even getting a glimpse into the future.
It really has, and we've packed so much into these 3 parts, so much to think about.
Exactly. But now it's time to wrap things up and distill all that information into some key takeaways. What are the things you really want our listeners to remember from this whole deep dive? Like, what's the big picture here?
Well, I think one of the biggest takeaways is that building and using LLMs isn't just for AI experts anymore.
Right.
It's becoming more accessible every day.
Yeah.
I mean, with the right resources and guidance, anyone who's passionate about this technology can dive in and start exploring.
I love that. It's like opening up this powerful tool to a wider audience and letting more people, contribute to the world of AI.
Exactly. And it's not just about building them, it's about using them too.
Right.
And I think it's important to remember that this whole LLM thing, it's a journey, not a destination.
Okay. Yeah.
There's always something new to learn,
Right.
new challenges to solve,
Yeah.
new ways to push the boundaries of what's possible.
So it's about embracing that process of, continuous learning and experimentation.
Absolutely. Don't be afraid to start small, to try different things,
Yeah.
make mistakes along the way. That's how we learn and grow, and that's how innovation happens.
Great advice. We've talked about all the technical stuff, the real-world applications, but what about the human element? Where does creativity fit into all of this?
Oh, that's such a good point.
Yeah.
Building and using LLMs, it's not just about writing code and training models.
Right.
It's about understanding human language, capturing all its nuances and complexities, and using this tech to enhance communication and creativity.
So it's like finding that sweet spot where technology and art intersect.
Exactly. And I think that's where the real magic happens. When we combine the power of AI with human creativity, we can unlock some truly amazing possibilities, from writing captivating stories to composing music to even finding solutions to some of the world's toughest challenges.
Yeah. It's like AI is giving us a whole new set of tools to express ourselves and solve problems in ways we never could before.
Exactly. So as we wrap up this deep dive, I want to encourage everyone listening to think about what you could create with the power of LLMs.
Ooh, good question.
What stories will you tell? What problems will you tackle? What new possibilities will you unlock?
Yeah, that's a really thought-provoking question. It reminds us that ultimately this technology is a tool. And like any tool, it can be used in many different ways. It's up to us to use it wisely and creatively to shape a better future.
I couldn't have said it better myself. I think that's the perfect note to end on.
I agree. Well, thanks for joining us on this deep dive into building large language models. We hope you've learned something new, been inspired by the possibilities, and are ready to embark on your own LLM journey.
Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep creating.